We think we have medicine all figured out. We've got hospitals, pharmacies, centuries of science. But what if I told you there's a whole other pharmacy out there? A hidden one, run by, well, by animals. Okay, let's just start with a really simple question. What do you do when you get sick? You know that feeling, right? That scratch in your throat, the achy muscles. What's your first move? For most of us, the answer is pretty simple. We pop over to the pharmacy, maybe call a doctor. We have a whole system for this stuff. It's organized, it's scientific, it makes sense. But then you have to ask, what about an animal? Out in the middle of a forest, miles from anything. They can't exactly book a doctor's appointment. So what do? Do they just tough it out and hope for the best? Or is there something else going on? Well, for centuries, people have seen some really puzzling things. Sick animals that suddenly, deliberately, go out of their way to find and eat plants they would never normally touch. We're talking bitter, sometimes even toxic stuff. It's a mystery that has had scientists scratching their heads for a long, long time. So, to crack this case, we're going to follow some real-life scientific detectives. Their beat? The Budongo Forest Reserve in Uganda. And their main subjects are our closest relatives in the animal kingdom, chimpanzees. All right, so here's clue number one. A team from Oxford University started tracking 51 chimps, just watching them day in, day out, and they noticed something really specific. Whenever a chimp was obviously sick or had an injury, its behavior changed. It would start eating things that are just not on the normal chimp menu. Stuff like the bark from a tree, some dead wood, or the leaves of a particular fern. And you have to understand, this wasn't just random munching. It seemed really targeted. So the researchers did exactly what you'd hope they do. They bagged the evidence. They collected samples of these exact plants and rushed them back to the lab, looking for a chemical smoking gun. And what they found, well, it was absolutely stunning. A whopping 88% of the plant extracts the sick chimps were eating had antibiotic properties. Let that sink in. These plants were actively fighting infection. But wait, it gets even better. About a third of the samples were also anti-inflammatory. They even saw one male chimp with a hurt hand making a point to eat the leaves of a specific fern. And guess what? When they tested that fern in the lab, it showed properties that could reduce pain and swelling. The chimps weren't just eating plants. They were using a mobile pharmacy. So that's it, right? Case closed. The chimps are brilliant herbalists using chemical medicine. It seems so obvious. But like in any good mystery, there was a twist. Another piece of the puzzle that just didn't fit. A strange behavior that the whole chemical cure idea couldn't explain at all. And this is where the story gets really wild, because the answer wasn't just in the chemistry. In some cases, it was purely mechanical. Okay, so the scientists basically had two competing theories on the table. First, the chemical cure, the idea we just talked about, that active compounds in the plants are acting like medicine. But then there was this other kind of out there idea, the physical cure. The theory here was that the leaf itself, its actual physical structure, was doing all the work. So what sparked this second theory? Well, it was this super weird thing that researchers had seen for years. Apes would sometimes take these really rough, hairy leaves, carefully fold them up, and just swallow them whole. No chewing, they just passed right through their system, completely undigested. I mean, why on earth would you do that? The secret was hidden in plain sight, but you needed a microscope to see it. And this was the big aha moment. The surfaces of these leaves are covered in these tiny, sharp, spiky hairs called trichomes. Think of it like a natural microscopic Velcro. And this quote from the research really nails it. The physical structure of these leaves, when swallowed whole, basically acts like a tool. They're a trap designed to physically grab and pull out parasites from the digestive system. So here's how this incredible process works. A chimp that's feeling awful from intestinal worms swallows these rough leaves. As the folded leaf travels through the intestine, those spiky little hairs snag the worms, pulling them right off the intestinal wall. Then, the whole package, leaf and worms, is just passed out of the body. It's a physical purge, not a chemical one. Absolutely ingenious. Okay, so this discovery is mind-blowing, but it just opens up a whole new can of worms, pardon the pun. It's not just what they're doing anymore, it's how they know to do it. And what does that tell us about what's going on inside their minds? I mean, think about it. How is this complex medical knowledge acquired? Is it pure instinct, just hardwired into their DNA? Or did one chimp just get lucky by accident and others started copying them? Or, and this is the big one, is it learned behavior, passed down from mother to child, generation after generation? Could we be looking at the beginnings of an animal medical culture? And just when you think it can't get any more profound, it does. As the lead researcher, Dr. Elodie Freeman noted, this isn't just about self-preservation. Her team documented cases where chimpanzees were actively helping others, applying insects to the wounds of different members of their group. This changes everything. To treat another individual's wounds, that suggests a level of awareness, of caring about the well-being of others. Could this be a form of empathy? Are we literally witnessing the building blocks of a shared communal healthcare system out there in the wild? Look, this is way bigger than just a cool story about chimpanzees. It's a window into a planet-wide pharmacy, and honestly, it has profound implications for our own future. It turns out this practice, it's called zoopharmacognosy, by the way, is happening everywhere. You've got woolly bear caterpillars eating poisonous plants to kill off parasites. Elephants have been seen eating a specific plant to induce labor. Ants create their own antimicrobial cocktail to protect their colonies. The list just goes on and on. So, why should we care? First, these animal doctors can be our teachers. By watching them, we could fast-track the discovery of new drugs for humans. Second, it shows that these forests aren't just collections of trees. They are living pharmacies. Preserving these habitats is a matter of urgent medical importance. And finally, it should just give us a profound new respect for the complex, intelligent lives of the creatures we share this planet with. The truth is, we've only just begun to listen to what these animal doctors can tell us. It makes you wonder, what else is out there, hidden in the behavior of a caterpillar or an elephant, just waiting for us to understand? The planet's pharmacy is open, and we have so much more to learn.